Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my podcast show, A Little Bit of Everything with Tiffany. This week, we will be talking about how to start your own business. Also, networking. So one of my followers wanted me to talk about specifically how to start a production company and also networking in the industry. So I'm just going to start this off by talking about how I started my journey with starting my own business. So being in the entertainment industry, it's kind of impossible to work what I call, or what most people call, a regular job. So that would be somewhere from waiting tables, working in an office, certain things that are demanding, like you work a specific schedule, 9 to 5, no request off, etc., unless, you have someone to switch with and all of that. So I tried to do the regular job thing, obviously a lot. I've done so many jobs, from restaurants, retail, call centers. I've even done telemarketing, which was absolutely horrible. None of those worked out because I am so passionate about being in this entertainment industry. I will say the one job that I can always vouch for and tell people who are in the industry that I did have, that I absolutely loved, that worked with my schedule, was Universal Studios Hollywood. I also worked for Universal in Orlando, Florida when I lived there, but Universal here in LA, it really was a great job for me to have, and still pursue my acting career. But then with that, you get comfortable working at a theme park. I'll be honest with you, because I know there's probably going to be a lot of actors and performers that listen to this podcast. Working in a theme park, you get really comfortable because you have great hours, you have great pay, you have great benefits. And if you're in the entertainment department, you're performing. So you get stuck in a mindset. And then once you're there, you don't reach out and venture out. You start to miss auditions because you're scheduled to work. Or other performers who are in the entertainment department can't switch with you because they're also pursuing careers, and they also can't switch because they're doing other things. They may have an audition. They may be called to set for something. So it got really tricky because I wanted more. I loved working in the theme park world, but I wanted more. So with that, you part ways, but I still love my Universal Hollywood family. Like, I still love everyone who gave me opportunities that other, theme parks may not have given me, or other jobs may not have given me. I came to Los Angeles to be in television and film. Doing social media just kind of fell in my lap when I started working with Bart Baker. And that's another passion that I have, since I have so many of you out there who love my content. So that also became another factor. So leading up to now, this is why I started my own production company. So Another Funny One Productions is a full service production company. We provide production services to casting. We work with talent. We do photography. We do graphic design. There's a lot under this one company. And the reason why I started my company, again, is because it's very hard for me to go out and apply for a job and work for somebody else when I have a mindset that I want to be the boss. I don't like working under people. I don't like having to explain myself to people, as far as why can't I get off of work for an audition. I don't want to have to go and deal with the stress of going and talking to a manager for them to tell me, oh, well, you have to get your shift covered. That's just not my style. Now, that's not knocking anybody out there that feels like they have to work a regular job. I just personally cannot do it. I cannot do it. I've tried it. I've tried it multiple times, because being an actor, people think that there's so much glitz and glam, but they forget about the hustle part. Those of us that work hard, that also, we have representation, but we also self-submit ourselves. We hustle. We market. I use my social media now as a marketing tool. So there's a lot that goes into being an actor or performer. So with that, I just didn't want to deal with the extra stress of working a regular job and having someone tell me that I can and cannot work specific days. And also being a actor performer, you have shoots. Sometimes you're on set for 12 to 16 hours a day. So I don't have time to be dealing with the stress of telling a manager or a boss, hey, I don't know what time I'll be wrapped. Well, you have to cover your shift. It's just a lot of unnecessary stress. Now, owning a business is also very stressful. It's not, all glitz and glam again. Because I have a small business, that means more hustle for me. That means more marketing. That means also dealing with people that I hire that may be flaky, or people, that talk the talk, and then once we hire them, they aren't what they said they were. So there's a lot of stress and a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that are shed when starting a business. So if you're really thinking about starting a business, I say make sure you know exactly what type of business do you want to have. You want to have a production company? Okay, what are your services? What are you going to provide? Do you have a team of people to put on a full production? Because there will be times where, somebody may reach out to you and they may say, hey, I have a fitness DVD that I want to produce. Can you help me? Most people who have come to me have dealt with people who said they're going to do this and said they're going to shoot this for them and said they're going to do that, and then they never follow through. So that's why most people come to us, because they know that we're consistent and they know that they're going to get the full package. So if you are wanting to start a business, make sure that you can definitely keep your word when it comes to clients. If you want to start a business, I'm going to say this because I actually didn't follow this advice that I'm about to put out there, but when you are thinking about starting a business, don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody until you actually have it done. When you have it done, there's just something better announcing it later as opposed to telling people what you have going on. Because when you say you have something going on, people kind of think, they're just talking, whatever. But when you just work in silence, I love that term. When you're working in silence, people have no idea what you're up to. And then, bam, you announce that you started a business. People will be like, what? Their whole attitude changes. That's what I would say. If you're wanting to start a business, especially a production company, make sure you have all your ducks in a row. Make sure you have the team that you need to work behind you. My business is family owned. My husband and my sister are the other co-owners of the business. No one else runs our business with us. Also, don't focus so much on, I gotta have a storefront. You don't need a storefront. You can literally work from your couch, which is also another great thing about, being in this industry. I don't have to go to a building. I have access to a building. I have access to an office space, but most of the time I can just work from home. So that's also a great thing about owning your own business. The next topic was networking. Networking is such a big deal out here. And I'm speaking on Los Angeles, big cities, Los Angeles, New York, Atlanta, etc. Wherever you are, whatever industry you're in, please take this advice with you. Networking is super important. You really want to get yourself out there. If you're going to events, which I say, let's talk about events actually. People tend to put on events and they talk it more than what it really is. So if you're serious about, your business, and if you're really wanting to go to some good classic events where you can really seriously network versus these so-called mixers that people have where they play music and then you're just there kind of networking with a bunch of people who really don't have their shit together. Stay away from those. Look up legitimate places. If you're in Los Angeles, look up events that are held at the Paley Center. Or if you are a SAG member, look up events that are on the website. Actual places where you can really learn something and network. Going to premieres and screenings, those are all great, but make sure they're worth your while. A lot of people think of networking as partying. And when you're networking, you're there for business. You're not there to party. You're there to get to know people that can help you eventually with your business. Let's say you're starting a new business and you're at an event. Like, for example, I love to go to Complex Con. And this last, actually, I will tie this in, this last Complex Con that we attended last year is really why I wanted to start my own clothing boutique, because I actually got to see Gary Vee and a few others talking, and that's what got my mind rolling about reselling and then owning my own boutique. So that's another business that I have completely different from my production company called The Shoptique. But places and events like that, conventions, that's where you really want to try to hit and meet and network. I will say my best and most successful networking experiences have actually come from when I was nominated for the SAG Awards committee. I was on the nominating committee last year, and I got to attend so many cool screenings, premieres, and events, and I got to really work closely and meet different people, whether they're celebrities, the directors, the writers. I met everyone that I could talk to, everyone that I could get just a little bit of information to help me better myself as a producer. Those are the types of people you want to be around. You don't want to be around a bunch of other people who are not on your level, who are lower on your level, or just kind of there. And that's just my personal opinion. So as far as networking goes, that's what I would say. Stick to the events that are legitimate, that are scheduled with a good agenda. Also, when you are going to these networking events, please make sure you have business cards. Why would you go to a networking event and you don't have a business card? How are you going to market yourself? It all ties back in together. You're wanting to start a new business. You want to start a new makeup and beauty business. Let's say that. Or you want to start a new production company. You find out about a convention that's coming to your town. Great. This is the way you want to get yourself out there. You get your business cards ready. You get your bullet points ready of what your business is about. Maybe you could help someone that's working the kiosks. Maybe you can help a vendor that's at these events, Maybe your business is something that they need to get their business to the next level, and bam, you got yourself a client. You can't do that if you don't have business cards, though. I mean, it's easy for someone to say now, oh, okay, great, let's DM each other and let me get your Instagram. Think about all the different people they're going to meet and get Instagrams. You're just going to go right down at the bottom of that list. Have a good business card with you, something memorable too, nothing on the cheap paper that can easily rip in somebody's pocket or whatever. Take pride in yourself. Take pride in your business. Your business will be your baby. That's pretty much it for this week. I hope that this podcast episode made a lot of sense to you. I hope that this episode inspires you to do that thing that you've been afraid of, that you aren't sure about. I hope it's something that can help you to take the leap. I hope that this episode will inspire you to not get stuck working for somebody else's dream to come true, as opposed to making your own dream come true. Thank you guys so much for listening to this week's episode of A Little Bit of Everything with Tiffany. If you're not following me on social media, make sure you're following me on Instagram at Miss_Tiffy. That's at MISS_TIFFYT. Follow me on Twitter at Tiffany Tynes. Follow me on Facebook, facebook.com/MissTiffanyTynes. And of course, follow me on YouTube, youtube.com/MissTiffanyTynes. I'll talk to you guys next week.